I will now call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Texas Southmost College District. Trustees present, Mr. J.J. De Leon, Ms. Alejandra Aldrete, Mr. Ruben Herrera, Dr. Tony Zabaleta, Mrs. Eva Alejandro, Ms. Delia Saenz is on her way, myself, and Dr. Jesus Roberto Rodriguez, our president. And I'll call on Dr. Zabaleta for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Public comments? None? Okay, thank you. And I will now tell you what the chair did. As legislative update, back in, what was it, February, that Mr. De Leon, Ms. Eva Alejandro, and myself went to TSC. We worked on as the chair of the board, I served as the representative and point of contact on the Community College Association of Texas Trustees, an organization that advocates for community colleges at the state and national level. As you may recall, I was with Mr. De Leon, Ms. Alejandro, and we met Senator Cruz and Senator Cornyn while in Washington in February to promote the expansion of the Pell Grants for workforce. We're still waiting on that, but I'm hopeful. And I guess a little prayer would be nice too. This organization is also very active during the past regular Texas legislative session. The trustees work hand in hand with the CEOs of the Texas Association Community Colleges to advocate for our community college priorities. As a part of this work, the president and I were chosen, because I was the chair, to serve on the Chair's Council. The president served on the President's Council, and also he was appointed by the commissioner to give input to this. This is the first time, and I've been on this board 15 years. This is the first time that we have a commissioner and the CEO of the organization that has included the board, and with great outcome, I might add. The Senate Bill 8 passed. It's been signed by the governor, and now we're waiting for the Rules Committee to tell us how we can spend the money. We wanted to make our own rules, but it didn't work. So, but thank you for Mr. President, thank you for the work that you did, and I was witness to a lot of the work that was done. I'm very excited. Is it good for community colleges? It's good for all the community colleges, and I think that's why it worked, because for once, all the community colleges work together, and we have a great outcome, and I'm looking forward to getting our hands in the pot, but we need to wait. On another note, during the 5th annual Mariachi Festival earlier this spring, Nuestra Cultura Mariachi Association recognized TSC with a Visionary Award. It was presented to TSC for our like-minded creativity, working together with the association to better the musicians of the Rio Grande Valley. I have to add to that, many years ago, I guess 5-6 years ago, when Mr. Hinojosa was alive, he had a dream, and he started this together with a group of young ladies, one of those being our own Abigail Gonzalez. And he wanted he wanted to bring all the mariachis of the valley together, and we managed to do that the first time, and it was very, very exciting. Mr. Galvan, you were there for the very first one, and I remember thinking it was awesome because they have, I want to say, in excess of 500 kids participate. So it went really, really well, and then, we were hit with COVID and things. But this last time was very, very nice. The collaboration with our mariachi director and UTRGV and all the school districts for the Rio Grande Valley. It was amazing to see how well put together it was. So it was very exciting. I'm going to show you the award that we got. Can all the board members stand and we can take a picture with it?
I'll let everybody go by and then I'll try and get up. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It was a really, really nice recognition, and I accepted it on behalf of TSC. On another note, we have a friend, and when I first met this gentleman, Trustee Ruben Herrera told me, there's no way you're not going to like this guy, and I didn't know who he was talking about. But again, Mr. Hinojosa, which liked to bring people together, brought us together, and we were having Governor Cabeza de Vaca had just gotten elected, and we attended a luncheon at the Alonso Building. I think you even were there, Dr. Zabaleta. So it was really, really nice. Glad to meet Ingeniero Francisco Galvan. And he's been a friend of the college, and I'm very thankful because anything that he could bring to the college, he did. And I know that because his governor is not in power anymore, I know that he remains a friend of the college. And I would like for him to say a few words because he came and presented us with some plaques. So would you like to say a few words, sir? Mr. Ingeniero Francisco Galvan.
I'm a little tall, so I have to.
Need a microphone?
Good afternoon, all the members of the board, Mr. President. I know all of you by name. Alejandra, Eva, Dr. Zabaleta, JJ, Señora Delia, y mi amigo Rubén. Very honored, very grateful to be here. And I'm here just to present a little bit of a sign of gratitude for the collaboration that Texas Southmost College did with the government of Tamaulipas in the 6 years that I served as a bilateral representative of the government of Tamaulipas. With this recognition that I do in behalf of the name of the governor and myself is just to promote and tell you guys as a college institution and educational institute, educational institution, never to stop helping young men to study, to become better citizens, better professionals. And in the other hand, I have always said that every country in the world that has put an effort to dedicate a good part of the budget, of the federal budget and education's programs, are the ones that are on the first place on economical development, on foreign relations, and I can put as example a lot of the countries. Unfortunately, there's countries like the one that I am from, Mexico, that the education subject is being neglected for many, many, many years. We've been neglecting education since the time of the conquest in 1500, when the Spaniards came to Mexico. And in 300 years of the period between the conquest of Mexico and independence of Mexico, only 5% of the population could speak Spanish. That tells you how much exploitation we have done during the years. And now we're paying the price, because we've been seeing that as the years go by, our immigration and migration problem has become bigger and bigger, and that's because we have not paid attention on that particular subject. So by saying this, I encourage you as a great institution to keep maintaining that effort to give the opportunities to any student that has the need or the inspiration to become a better citizen, to keep doing it. Thank you very, very much for what you did, to all of you, to Dr. Fleshman. I don't know if Dr. Fleshman, it's hi, Doctor. I really appreciate what you guys did for Tamaulipas and all the programs that we sustained and the opportunities that we had for our people that we brought here to do a program with our police department. Thank you so much.
Así me tomo una foto con el...
Make sure to get the microphone.
Oh, I'm gonna give him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you take a step? Miss Alejandra, can you take a step forward, please?
And finally, I am very pleased to recognize one of our own. Secretary Alejandra Aldrete has a new position in BISD, where she is now serving as Director of Family and Engagement Department. This is a great fit for Ms. Aldrete, and I know she'll continue to do a wonderful resource for our families in our community.
Thank you very much.
And now I'll turn over to the president.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Trustees, good evening. Well, our summer semester is in full swing, and as always, great things are happening at Texas Southmost College. First, the work of the marketing department was recognized with a national award that celebrates excellence in video production. The TSC 2022 Summer and Fall Registration Television Commercial featuring the Study Local campaign earned the prestigious National Tele Awards in 3 categories: gold for general educational institution, silver for editing, bronze for art direction. The commercial featured the talent of many of our faculty, staff, and students. I want to recognize them for their contribution to the project, with special thanks to the art department, health professions, WTCE, the purchasing department, and we even had a cameo appearance from the Brownsville Police Department. So congratulations to the entire staff of the marketing multimedia department on this great achievement.
You make us proud, always. Frank, thank you and your team. You do wonderful things. We're very proud.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For the last 5 years, TSC has been leading vibrant learning communities in partnership with the Brownsville Independent School District through the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant. TSC provides robust enrichment activities and interactive events at 5 BISD high schools and 5 middle schools. The goal of the program is to help to ensure high school graduates find their place at a community college or a university. We received great news that our program achieved its 5-year goals, which means this year they serve 2,500 middle and high school students who attended 45 days or more of programming, 1,250 adults who attended 1 or more family engagement events. But they're not done yet. They are currently ramping up to run 6-week summer camps for students across all 10 partner schools. This means that they will greatly exceed their participation goals. Now, it's worth mentioning that the Texas Education Agency issued a special invitation to the TSC 21st Century Porter Conjunto group, La Leyenda. They performed at the annual Out of School Time State Conference earlier this month. And oh yeah, let's give it up to them, yeah.
It was the first time they invited a conjunto group.
Oh, yeah. So we're making an impact, not only in our community, but really taking great practices and being recognized at the state level. But some further good news. And final, 2 days ago, we received a very exciting news from TEA that the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant was renewed. This means an additional $10 million will be awarded over the next 5 years so that we may continue to serve our communities throughout this grant. So congratulations to the 21st Century team, grant partner, is making great impact in our communities. Next, several of our staff members have been invited to share their expertise with their colleagues through conference presentations. Dr. Precy Tipton was a keynote speaker at the Texas Education Agency Community Partnership Schools training held in Austin today. Her presentation was titled Pipeline from Pre-K to College, Community Partnerships in College and Career Readiness, Implementation, and Effective Intervention. At the event, she is sharing best practices and examples of successfully outcomes based on her excellent work with our own 21st Century Community Learning Center program. TSC also had a robust presence at the National Association for Career and Technical Education Information National Conference. Dr. Angela McCauley, Ms. Daniela Canales, and Mr. John Rodriguez were presenters at the conference held in Austin, May 22nd to the 25th. Their presentation was titled Scorpion Opportunity Hub, Connecting Students to the Community Resources. The topic was well received by conference participants, with many follow-up questions from those seeking to implement similar programming at their college. Thank you to Dr. Angelica Fuentes and Dr. Stella Garcia for your support of the team. Thank you. I was also very honored to participate in the number of graduation ceremonies with our school district partners this month. It has been truly inspiring to connect with our local school board trustees, superintendents, principals, and of course our graduates and their families. I participated in the Port Isabel High School graduation on May 26th. At the event, I had the opportunity to recognize their first two Porter Isabel graduates who earned their associate's degree from Texas Southmost College earlier in the month. We look forward to more Tarpons graduating from TSC in the coming years. On June 2nd, I attended two high school graduations. The first was the Brownsville Early College High School class of 2023. That was a beautiful ceremony held at our TSC Performing Arts Center. Later that evening, I served as a keynote speaker at the Santa Maria ISD graduation. I can tell you that the hometown spirit is alive and well in the Rio Grande Valley. Following the event, I celebrated with the trustees and the administrators, graduates, and families. There was great interest from their families in learning more about the educational opportunities available to them at Texas Southmost College. Now, Texas Southmost College continues to strengthen the partnerships with our community and all the representatives that are elected throughout our service district. Last month, we hosted 250 seniors from the Brownsville Independent School District for tours of the workforce program at ITech. This was the result of a request we received from Melissa de la Torres, who serves in the BISD Office of College, Career, and Military Readiness. And thank you, Mr. De Leon, as well, for your continued support. She asked if we could host tours for graduating seniors from high school across the district, and we were pleased to do so. Over the course of about a week, students engaged in hands-on activities in the following programs: drone pilot, welding, healthcare, and construction. They also interacted with our transition coaches, faculty, and workforce training staff. Thank you to Judy Moreno and Imelda Martinez for leading the events, and the many staff members in the Student Services and WTCE who made these visits successful. As part of our redesign in Student Services activity, we shifted student orientation to take place earlier as well as multiple times throughout the summer. We held the first session on May 20th at the Set B Lecture Hall. We had a very good turnout, with 93 students and 48 family members participating. They engaged in hands-on activities and met with the representatives from student services departments, as well as the business service, financial aid, tutoring, ETOL, and campus security. Thank you to Ms. Virginia Sandoval for leading the committee, and thank you to the many members of our campus community who made this event successful, to our new Scorpions. In addition to hosting the new Scorpions on campus, we continue our efforts to cultivate future Scorpions. On June 1st, we participated in the West Brownsville Little League closing ceremony. We had a great time connecting with the young athletes, coaches, and parents. Madam Chair and I had the honor of handing out medals and championship rings alongside Brownsville City Commissioner Linda Macias. Now, we also held our first Scorpion Youth Soccer Camp on June 7th to the 9th.
That was so cute.
It was truly an arousing success. We had 90 kids participating, ranging in the ages from 5 to 12 years, including the grandchildren of our trustees, Madam Chair and immediate past Chair Herrera. The camp has been an incredible opportunity to engage our community, youth, and develop future Scorpions. Thank you to our soccer coach, Mario Zamora, Dr. Armando Ponce, our rec center and facility staff, as well as our own TSC soccer players for volunteering their time to put this great outreach event.
It wasn't long enough. It was only 3 days. We could have used 3 weeks.
That was a good feedback from all the parents. Can you do this every week? So we're planning on doing this with more frequency. Now, continue with the theme of building community connections through sports. TSC was represented at the La Sara Independent School District Golf Tournament by Mr. Oscar Hernandez, Dr. Armando Ponce, and Coach Mario Zamora. Fortunately for us, their sparkling personalities are better than their golf games.
I was going to say, did we win?
Although they lost plenty of golf balls, they did not lose the opportunity to strengthen our relationship with our friends at La Sara ISD. So thank you, gentlemen, for spending part of your Memorial Day weekend representing TSC.
Thank you.
Our participation in the golf tournament in La Sara complements the outreach we have been conducting with our rural school districts. Over the past few weeks, we have been meeting with superintendents and administrators to discuss strategies for enhancing dual enrollment in their school districts. I can report that there has been very positive response to the visits, which have generated incredible creative ideas for how to create dual enrollment and the number of associate's degrees students can earn. Thank you to Ms. Vanessa Vasquez, Dr. Brian McCormack, Mr. Jose Arambul, and Dr. Chris Alves for assisting me with the discussions. At the same time, we're working to strengthen our partnerships with universities. I met with the UT Austin Dean of the College of Education, Dr. Charles Martinez, and Department Chair, Dr. Victor Saenz, on June 7th. We had a good discussion about how to best partner in our work that will make a positive impact on TSC and the Rio Grande Valley. Now, with the election of a new mayor and commissioners for the city of Brownsville, we're pleased to host visits with newly elected officials last month. Madam Chair and I met with Mayor John Cowan on May 26th and Commissioner Brian Martinez on June 1st. During the visits, we provided them with a brief history of the college, a tour of iTech, and discussed areas of future collaboration. The support of our mission as a comprehensive community college remains strong from our elected officials. We look forward to continuing to work together to enhance the quality of life for our communities that we serve. As always, the Student Services Division continues to organize events that help our students stay engaged. The most recent includes the Military Appreciation, which was celebrated throughout the month of May, and today we held our first blood drive. That was a nice turnout. Last month, we graduated 2 more classes of health professionals. Graduates include students earning a patient care technician credential and a certified nursing assistant certificate. It's worth mentioning that these students are dual enrollment students from Brownsville and Lyford. And last month, we held our surplus auction, which was conducted by Galindo Auctions LLC on May 20th. It was a very successful auction with approximately 300 participants bidding on a wide variety of items, which we raised $63,797.14. So thank you to Marcela Juarez and our physical plant staff for ensuring a well-run event. Now, it is time for this month's video highlighting the activities that have occurred since we last met. So with your permission, can you please roll the video, Frank? And before we conclude my report, I do want to give a special recognition to our immediate past chair, Mr. Ruben Herrera, for being recognized as a Criminal Defense Attorney of the Year.
He didn't want any recognition, so he told me no, but he didn't tell the president no.
It was wonderful recognition. I do want to thank the Board of Trustees for the continued support and commitment to the college and to the communities that we serve. So thank you, and also thank you to all the faculty and staff for starting the summer Scorpion strong. It's been nice so far. So we just started, but things are looking very positive for Texas Southmost College. As I like to say, the sun always shines on TSC. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will continue with item number 5, consideration and possible action on the minutes of the following meetings. Regular meeting, May 18, 2023.
So move.
A motion by Mr. Herrera. Second by Ms. Alejandro. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item number 6, presentation of the Institute for Mexicans Abroad, IME, Instituto de los Mexicanos en el Exterior, and Mexican Consulate in Brownsville, Texas, to Texas Southmost College. And I will call, with us is nuestro cónsul, Cuevega. If you would like to say a few words, sir, and come up.
Yes. Which way? Doesn't matter.
Aquí, buenas tardes. I think I can do it here, okay? Thank you very much.
Can we turn it a little bit so we can get the
Oh,
camera?
sorry. Déjeme.
That, perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Ms. Adela Garza. Good afternoon, all the members of the board. I'm very happy to be here. And just to say that, as you are aware, since 2005, the Mexican government has been allocating money for scholarships for Mexicans abroad. They give us, to each one of the 52 consulates in the United States, they provide us with funds for the scholarships. And we go with the major organizations, civil organizations, NGOs, and basically community organizations. They make the suggestions for where to go, and then we begin to work so that we can grant that money for the colleges to give scholarships to the Mexican citizens or citizens of Mexican origin. In the case of the Texas Southmost College, we're very happy that we're going to be here for this 7th time working with you. And in this occasion, the Mexican government has given us $11,000 to be given to the funds so that you can match that amount, and we can then give scholarships to Mexican citizens or Mexican origin people. So that means $22,000, $2,000 for each one. So that means 22 students, if I'm correct. I'm not very good at mathematics, but anyway. 11 students, 11 students, right. Thank you very much. So that's what we are going to do today, and we are going to sign memorandum of understanding so that we continue this cooperation. And I want to thank also the people here from the Ventanilla de Orientación Educativa. Mr. Frank is here. Thank you for all the help that you give us. He is the one that is providing orientation to the students that want to get into the college so that they can know where to apply, what to do to get into the college. So that's the presentation, and I thank you for the opportunity to be here in front of all of you, and thank you. Yeah. I think we need to sign.
Sorry.
A good day for Texas Southmost. Good funding by our government, nice recognition by the government of Mexico, and a little money.
Oh, yeah.
We got
Doing good.
recognized from the governor, the country of Mexico, and our state is not doing too bad either.
Not at all.
It's a good day.
It's a good
It's a
day.
good day.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Ahora sí.
Back to work. Okay, item number 7, Finance Committee, Mr. Herrera.
Yes. The Finance Committee met on Monday, June 15th. Present were Secretary Alderete, President Rodriguez, myself, and members of the TSC Administration and Legal Counsel. The committee discussed the following items. 7A, consideration possible action on approval of the proposed tuition and fee schedule for fiscal year 2024. I'll call on Dr. Figueroa.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez. Before you, for your consideration, have the tuitions and fee schedule for fiscal year '24. This will be effective on the fall of '23. The tuition and fee schedule is on your packet. Anything that has a red mark and a green, it's updates to fees. The only updates we're doing is to mandatory fees that is a pass-through to the student.
I will propose that the tuition and fee schedule effective May 2024 be approved as presented by the administration.
I second that.
A motion by Mr. Herrera, second by Ms. Aldrete. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
7B, financial statement report for the month ended April 30th, 2023. I'll call Dr. Figueroa and Mr. Fabulous Pacero.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera. With your permission, I'll have Mr. Pacero present the report.
Thank you, Dr. Figueroa. Mr. Chairman, thank you for the introduction, sir. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, we have for you the monthly financial statement report for the month of April 30th. I will mainly concentrate my presentation on this column here, which is the April actual amounts. The report is in a similar format as we have presented in the past. It'll have the activity or a description of what is occurring here on the left, and then we have our various columns for the dollar amounts. So I'll begin with this first slide. We adopt a budget for 3 different fund types. The education and general fund is the first of the 3 that I'll cover. We have revenue on this slide, a subtotal of $2 million for the month of April. On the following slide is where our expenditures category begins, and we start here with a subtotal for salaries and wages and for benefits of $1.4 million and $388,000 respectively. On this slide, we have our M&O category, and that begins on this slide, runs through the next, and then concludes here with a subtotal of $488,000 for the M&O category and general fund. On this slide, we have a subtotal for travel and for general institutional, and those subtotals are $28,000 and $1.1 million respectively. And the final slide for general fund, we have a recap here at the bottom of all expenditures in the month of April, and that's $4.3 million. So that's revenue and expenditures for the general fund. The second of the 3 funds is the auxiliary fund, and on this slide, we have revenue of $152,000. The next slide has our expenditures categories, where we have subtotals for salaries and wages of $125,000 and benefits of $30,000. The next slide is where the M&O category begins, and it starts here and concludes on the next slide. A subtotal of $31,000 for the month of April in auxiliary. And on this last slide for the auxiliary fund, we have a subtotal for total expenditures, $191,000 for April in the auxiliary fund. So that's revenue and expenditures for auxiliary. And the last, the third of the 3, is our general obligation and revenue bond funds. We have a revenue subtotal here, $143,000 for the month of April, and we have no expenditures to report in the month of April for that bond fund type. The next slide that we have is our detail for our health benefit expenditures, and we have subtotals related to those 2 funds that carry that type of expense, $1.3 million for general fund and $96,000 for auxiliary. The next slide is our fund balance worksheet, and the slide after that is our debt service payments worksheets, and there are no changes since the last time that we presented these slides to the committees and the
Thank you.
board.
Any questions from Mr. Pacero? This item is for information only. No action is required. Thank you, Mr. Pacero. 7C, second quarter investment report for fiscal year 2023. Dr. Figueroa or Mr. Pacero, either one.
Before you have the second quarter investment report, Mr. Herrera, with your permission, I'll have Mr. Pacero present.
Thank you, Dr. Figueroa. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, we have the second quarter investment report for the board. This period runs from December 1st through February 28th, and the report is in a similar format that we have presented before as well. where we have the description or the type of investment that is along the left, and then we'll have two columns for the book and the market values for the prior quarter and for the quarter we're presenting. And the headings can be seen here where we have the ending date for the first quarter, the ending date for the second quarter. And the columns that are next to those will give the reader information on the yield, the maturity date, and the interest earned, which is the last column here, for each of those investment types. So the following slides, they all have the detail for each of the fund categories, but we have a nice table here up at the top that will recap the different fund types and the dollar amounts related to those categories for each of the quarters. So I'll just mention these very briefly. We have current funds of $71 million, $69,000 in loan funds, $3.5 million in endowment, $11.7 million in plant funds, and $13,000 in agency. The total cash and cash equivalents on that date, $86.7 million. We also earned interest of almost $600,000 for that quarter, so a little bit better than the quarter preceding that. If there are any questions, I'd like to try and answer any of those related to the detail that we have here. And I'll just very quickly point out that we do have two slides at the end that recap the current certificates of deposits that we have, the institutions where those are at, and their related maturity dates. The slide after this one has the matured CDs. This is CDs that have already matured, and the dates related to those, the institutions where they were at, and the interest that was earned by those. Any questions?
Any questions? Mr. Becerro, this last slide starts in 2019, is that correct?
Correct.
From 2019 to date, how much has we earned in our CDs?
We have a subtotal of 1.5 million, sir. $1,572,611.
Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Any other questions? Next item is 7B, Fund Balance Operation Report. I'll call on Dr. Figueroa.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, before you have the fund balance operation report, this is a report that is extrapolated out of the fund balance ending last fiscal year as of 8/31/22 audited financial statements, and it states 175 days of operations, giving a average of 176,000 in expenses, which was the average of last fiscal year. This report remains unchanged. Again, it's as of 8/31/22.
Thank you so much, Dr. Figueroa. Any questions? Next item is Institutional CARES Act Expenditure Report for Dr. Zavaleta.
Thank you, sir.
This is the report is for you.
Oh, thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, before you have the CARES expenditure report, the new expenditures for this past month were $566,827, and you have in your packet a description of all the, what composed that $500,000, the vendors, the quantities, and the amounts of, that was purchased with CARES funds.
Thank you so much. Next item is 7F, Grants Update. I'll call on Dr. Fuentes. Dr. Figueroa.
Thank you, sir. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, before you, you have the grants awarded during the month of May to the college. We have one additional funds to Perkins that were awarded to the college in the amount of $65,687. This is in addition to our original amount of $248,000 that was allocated at the beginning of the fiscal year.
This is information only. Any questions? Madam Chair, that concludes my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera. Item number 8, Academic Committee. Dr. Zavaleta?
Yes, ma'am. The Academic Committee met on Wednesday, June 7th. Present were President Rodriguez, myself, and members of the staff. And we undertook one item, and it's 8A, consideration and possible action to approve revised academic agreement between Texas Southwest College and secondary school partners for the award of dual credit programs. Are there any questions on that? I move to approve the revised academic agreement template with secondary school partners for the award of credit and authorize President Rodriguez to sign the agreement.
Dr. Zabaleta, did you want Ms. Vanessa to tell us about this item?
That'd be fine.
Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, today I'm here to present the revised academic agreement between Texas Southmost College and secondary school partners for the award of credit in dual programs. Before you, you have both agreements, one with track changes and where we removed and added information, and another without the track changes. The proposed academic agreement has been reviewed and approved by our TSC Legal Counsel and the Board of Trustees Legal Counsel. The proposed changes in the agreement include defined fees charged to the secondary school districts, updated language of our library services, updated language of the Title IX federal law, and revisions to the consistency of the language throughout the agreement to better reflect the programs that we offer or that are options for our secondary school students to receive college credit while attending high school. So a lot of these districts have different designations. P-TECH, which is Pathways in Technology, Early College High School Program. Some just offer dual credit. So we want to make this inclusive for all districts to offer these courses.
Thank you.
If you have any questions.
I second the motion.
Okay, I had a motion by Dr. Zabaleta, second by Mr. Herrera. Any discussion?
Yes. Me.
I have a question.
I have a question.
Okay.
When you talk about the fees, are they mentioned in this contract or no?
So the fees are on page, let me see, page 7, funding provisions. The only fee we talk about is the $5 fee per student per semester. We do provide them an appendix because our fees change consistently, and that appendix has the fees elaborated on there. Mm-hmm. We could
But
definitely
that is-
provide that.
But that will change after the state.
So if it changes, would we amend this contract?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Okay. All those, go ahead.
With this dual program, are the students using the tutoring online, the full access to library, and then access to the academic advice?
Yes, ma'am, they are. They're using the tutoring services that it's 24/7. And we have a college transition coach partnered in every district to provide the advising through student planning or a self-service platform that they utilize to show their progress of where they're at and if they're almost completing.
Very good.
More questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion
That
carries.
concludes my
That
conclusion.
concludes your report. Thank you, Dr. Zabaleta.
Yes, ma'am.
Facilities Committee, Ms. Aldrete?
Yes, thank you. The Facilities Committee met on Monday, June 5th. President were President Rodriguez, myself, members of the TSC Administration, and College Legal Counsel. The committee discussed the following items. 9A, consideration and possible action on award RFP 2318 for campus custodial services. Dr. Figueroa?
Thank you, Ms. Aldrete. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, before you have RFP 2318 for campus custodial services. We engaged into this RFP in March of this year, and we're here to present it to the board today after it went to committee last week. The scope of work is the cleaning of all of our buildings. We have about 888,000 cleanable square footage, and it's at an APA staffing 2 level according to the standards, which includes the pickup, removal of trash, and sweeping, hard surfaces, cleaning, and as well as cleaning for our events and assisting with those when we have on campus. This is how the chart that has the square footage that makes those 888,000. This RFP was reviewed by Mr. Carlos Pecero, Ms. Erica Fayette, Ms. Marcela Juarez, Ms. Maricela Nava, and Mr. George Hinojosa. We received 17 proposals and that were reviewed. And here are the scores in your pricing tabulation. Because there were 17, they had to narrow down to 6 of the companies that provided a presentation and a report on the proposal to the college. We have this tabulation encompasses what the committee reviewed and after reviewing the proposals and asking additional questions. Some of the consideration factors that took place in addition to what they provided in their responses was how many FTEs, full-time equivalent staff we're going to be bringing on.
What is FTEs?
Full-time equivalent. So basically, how many staff members? And it's equivalent because 2 part-times can make 1 full-timer. So as you can see, there were, the 6 proposals are here. The one that the committee rated the highest was Pritchard Industries. We have, they proposed having 26.5 FTEs, and what they paid the employees is an average between $11 and $12 an hour, along with benefits that in vacation time that they have in their package for their employees. For us is $1,076,104. There is 2 other companies that have more FTEs than them, 32 and 45, A&H and McLemore. Marcy's is our current vendor, and they have, they propose 22 FTEs. The one company that it's local from Harlingen, Texas, Chiapas Custodial, when we asked for the interview, they literally hanged up on us. We were not able to get back to them. That's why they were rated the lowest. And we also did an in-house estimate. What will it cost to bring custodial services in-house? With a total of 30 employees and 2 supervisors, we are estimating $1.6 million that will cost the college to have this service in-house. The review criteria is the same one that we use, and if once the board approves this contract, we'll add it into our budget for the next fiscal year. So the proposal from the committee is to award to Pritchard Industries LLC the custodial services contract.
I move to award RFP 2318 for campus custodial services to Pritchard Industries LLC and authorize President Rodriguez to execute the contract as presented.
I have a question.
One second. I have a motion by Ms. Aldrete, second by Mr. Herrera. Question.
Yes. How many people will this, in moving away from Marcy's, who's been our custodial service for many, many years,
How many years?
how many people will lose their jobs?
Right now, I can obviously ask Marcy's how many employees they have. I know they're offering 22, so possibly 22 people. We did ask aside to all the companies if they were to come in and they will give an opportunity to current employees of the company if they were to lose their job, and they said yes. So that's also an offer from all of the companies.
Is there any particular reason why we're moving away from Marcy's?
It was the committee reviewed their proposals, and based on the offerings of the cleaning levels, the staffing, and the services that they were offering, how they were ranked.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any more questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Against?
You yes?
Yes,
Oh, you said you are yes, right?
I'm against.
Against, okay. So all those against, Dr. Zavaleta? Motion carries.
9B, facilities update. Dr. Figueroa?
Thank you, Ms. Aldrete. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, before you have our facilities update, this is a short update. It's the list is getting closer on the bigger projects. We have the courtroom, the elevator second floor renovations, and the fence replacement for the childcare. On the courtroom and criminal justice program, we met with the subcommittee, and then with that committee, we've been updating them on the progress. We are, right now, we're putting the building back together. Windows, tape and floor is in progress, the ceiling grid is also in progress, and the HVAC installation after the modifications is being completed. This is where we already have walls coming up into that space. So we estimate to have this ready for this fall semester. The second floor renovations are also moving along. We are working on drywall painting, and the pressure bulbs are already installed. And these are some of the pictures of how that project's coming along. We're also wrapping it up this summer. Finally, yes, sir. It's been a long-awaited project, a lot of delays on materials we've had. And the third project is finalized. This project has been completed, which is the replacement fence at the Child Care Unit 2. The last piece that was missing from our last time was that covering, privacy covering on the fence, so that it's completed. One project that I also mentioned during the committee meeting was that it's not in the presentation because it was not when we submitted the packet, was we did have a water leak in the ITech building. We ended up having to close operations one day. And I'm here to report that we have contained the leak, and we've done all the necessary repairs to safeguard the building, the foundation, from any further damage. We still have pending the bringing back up the fire alarm suppression system. So we're evaluating, talking to the engineer on how that repair will come about. But as of right now, we have water, the chiller plant is back operational, and we've contained any of the damages that could have possibly happened after that water spill.
Madam Chair, this concludes my report.
Thank you. I was at ITech yesterday. I took my grandkids to see the ITech, and it was impressive. Thank you, Dr. Flashman, for giving the kids a tour. They got to get on the forklift and the tractors, and they were in awe to see the plumbers working hands-on. Thank you. Next. Yes.
Regarding security, who's in charge of security? Who's in charge of our
It
security?
reports directly to me, ma'am. I have a director, Ms. Kila Turtle, and Mr. Ben is our coordinator of security, which the security company reports to him.
Can you mention those two names again, please?
Mr. Ben Gabbard, it's our coordinator of security, and the Ms. Kila Turtle, it's our director, and they both, and Ms. Kila reports to me, so it's coming to me.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Once the new fence is very nice. My question has to do also with security. Once it closes, the gate closes, it's locked, is that correct? It's not-
Yes, sir.
Somebody can't just come up from the outside and open it.
No,
Is that correct?
It's locked, but it's, they open from the inside in case of an emergency.
Thank you.
Item number 10, student services, and I'll call on Ms. Sines.
The Student Service Committee met on Monday, June 5th, 2023. Present were Trustee Alejandro, President Rodriguez, members of the TSC administration, and College Legal Counsel. The committee discussed the following item. 10A, update on the rollout of EAB, Starfish platform for student services. Ms. Vanessa Vasquez will present.
Thank you, Ms. Science. Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. President Jesus Roberto Rodriguez. Today, I will be presenting on the rollout implementation of our Starfish platform. So our Starfish platform, we are very appreciative that the board approved this back in 2021. I know it took a while to implement, but we were able to start working with the platform. This platform will help with the retention of our students and create a successful environment to facilitate counseling, coaching, tutoring, and other services for our students. This platform offers viewing support networks for students as part of their courses, receiving early alerts from the instructors in which our student success coach, students, and any other wraparound services can verify all at once in one platform. Getting electronic referrals and messages, viewing academic plans, setting up online appointments for these services or for instructors, and faculty can submit real-time progress reports and refer students to appropriate offices. We established a committee in which we involved our IT personnel, instruction, and student services. With this committee, we were able to build the foundation of this platform, and we created flags that faculty or students may raise if needed on the system. We received input from the faculty because we had a long list of flags, so we narrowed them down in regards to what we've seen, prior data, plus what they're seeing in the classroom. Some of these flags include attendance concerns, which these students also get an email if a flag is raised, behavioral concern, basic needs, and some of that reflects on mental health, financial aid, food, housing. So we're able to refer students to a service or a staff member that has access to this platform, and we're all able to see that referral. And then, of course, anybody who's in danger of failing, they're able to raise that flag as well. So as we built this in the system, added all the personnel to that staff, we didn't want to also look at the negativity. We also want to look at the positive approach to this. And so they're able to do a kudos flag as well, letting students know that they're doing a great job and they're doing an outstanding work. This is our first time capturing this, so we don't know, maybe this data will help us see if they're persisting and that's motivating students. We won't be able to gather the data until December of 2024, one full year, in order to understand the information. We also build workflows in the system in which we had to gather and go through the whole process of the instructor, the student, the coach, and the timeline of how it's going to be the outcomes. So with these workflows, we're working on a 4-day processing to where every Fridays we close the loop on the students. We find out the outcomes. We make sure that they go to tutoring. Did tutoring put a detailed information there saying that they did receive the appropriate action? So this is a workflow for instructor-initiated flags. We also have one for our student. Students may need help in the course, but they're too shy to ask the professor, so they can raise their own flag, and we'll reach out to them automatically and get the help that they need. We also have another workflow for students who need help in general. Maybe they need daycare. Maybe they can't come to class because mom and dad, they're going to have to go work and help their families, and we can provide other options for them. So we can definitely help them with that as well. So as we built the system, we have a timeline. And from this timeline, we were able to configure the system. We created training videos for students and faculty. We worked with our IT to configure the system. We also presented this to the vice presidents because they were able to give us feedback to add all the wraparound service personnel into the system. That way they can document if a student says, I need money, I need a grant, or is there any free money because I I don't have that expense, they can refer them to financial aid. We have 2 members there that are in this platform. They'll receive that, contact that student, provide them any free grants that we may have to help the student. So we implemented that in the system. In March of 2023, we were able to work with Dr. McCormick, in which he provided 15 faculty that were able to get trained. We trained them, they provided feedback, we added that to the system, we retrained them again, they were okay, they were ready to start and submit early alerts. So we were able to have 15 faculty produce the early alerts for spring 2023. And as of April, we went live with the system. Now, May of 2023, we finished training the summer faculty, which were a total of 29 faculty. 7 of them were already trained from the spring semester. So from there, we launched on the first day of school, June 5th. They were able to submit early alerts. So as of right now, they're submitting their early alerts. We are only doing this for our on-campus faculty. We haven't transitioned to to dual credit, because that's what we're working on right now. We're building the workflows for our dual credit faculty and including our college transition coach to that workflow, because they will be working with the counselors and the districts with these early alerts. And we understand that sometimes the flags that may be raised are pertaining to the ISD. So we need to know who that contact person is at that ISD to get everybody involved. So we're working with that implementation, because once we test it and have it ready, by August of 2023, we are training all faculty for the rollout plan. And so we're pretty excited for this system. We've already captured some data, and we're getting excited with the data, but I know we need to capture all of it first. But I think our long-term goals are to increase fall to spring persistence, fall to fall persistence, and degree completion. That's our main goal with this retention effort. And the key benefits that we've heard from faculty, because we have provided surveys to faculty of how the system is working. They're just like, I finally can see everybody's notes in one screen. I don't have to email somebody to send me what happened and so forth. Everything is happening in real time. So again, thank you for this purchase. And I'm eager to provide data to you from a year to now. Any
That
questions?
is pretty cool. But you know, when you did that timeline, we realized, all of this happens while we're not here, and we're not aware of it. We just see the results, and it's really nice to be able to capture all that data in the future. Thank you. Any more questions?
Well, I have a question. I'm happy that you did some surveys and so forth, but when are you going to present the results?
Yes, it will be in December of 2024. We have to capture a whole year's worth, but I can present preliminary results if you'd like.
You don't need to do
Yes.
anything special, but I think it is important that we are documenting
Yes.
the performance, because this is a continuing program, right? This is not a new program.
Yes,
So
no.
we need to know how it's going.
Most
Right.
definitely.
All right, thank you.
Well taken. Thank you.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes,
So I
sir.
know that we're training the faculty, that's our goal. And who's gonna ensure that the faculty is actually using this tool? Because I'm gonna tell you,
Thank you.
at BISD, they do a lot of updates or a lot of new software, they train, and then people just forget to use it.
Yes.
So are you gonna have
Yes. So we have our Director of Strategic Enrollment, Carolina Reina. She's a project manager. She's the one that's been building this and doing the trainings, and her success coaches. We are working with Dr. McCormick, because we're kind of doing a check and balance to say, hey, these faculty are not submitting, what's going
Yes,
on?
okay.
And we're validating. So I will take that responsibility with working with Dr. McCormick.
Great, thank you, that's important. I mean, for such an important tool that we're
Most
investing, that we want to see the outcome of.
And the same thing with dual credit too. We're going to be providing a report to the district liaisons to say, hey, these faculty haven't been submitting, help me, reach out to them, help me let them know that they need to submit the early alerts.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Vanessa.
information only, no action required.
Thank you.
This concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Hines. Item number 11, Policy Committee, Mr. De Leon.
Yes, best for the last. The Policy Committee meeting met Tuesday, June 6, 2023. Present were Chair Ms. Garza, Mr. Herrera, President Rodriguez, myself, members of the TSC Administration, College, and Board Legal Counsel. The committee discussed the following items. 11A, consideration and possible action on the following local policy, CHA and GD. I will call on Mr. Perez to present this item.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, trustees, and Dr. Rodriguez. The committee did meet, and we have been working on this policy for a while. As you may recall, on February 16th of this year, the board deleted the then existing CHA local policy because it didn't really comport with how we were operating. So the board tasked Mr. Peña and myself with drafting or redrafting a local policy, CHA local, that properly and adequately and accurately reflects how TSC is actually operating its security system, which is in a hybrid system that uses private security and off-duty police officers. We did that, and we came up with what's in front of you. The main issues that we did where we used the basic foundation, as the basic foundation of CHA local. We used your old policy, but transformed it with the help of administration to absolutely accurately reflect what TSC is, how TSC is operating with its hybrid security system. We believe that the policy that's contained in your packet accurately reflects that. And you've got the redlined version, which has blue and red. Those are the changes that are made. And you have the clean copy right behind that. I'll entertain any questions if the board has any.
We had plenty of those last time.
Hello, thank you, Mr. Herrera. We actually worked several times on this, and I think it came out how it should be worded to help us have this kind of a policy for the security services that we have. So with that said, if nobody has any questions, oh, yes. So I move to approve revisions to the following local policy, CHA local, site management, security, and GD local, community expression and use of the college facilities.
I have a motion by Mr. De Leon,
Second.
second by Mr. Herrera. Any questions? We're all questioned out.
Yes, that one is. We spent some time, at least.
797 questions on this thing in committees. And it came out real good. Thank you for helping us achieve what we want to achieve in this policies. It really reflects what we are doing.
Thank you.
I just want to say that thank you to you all on this committee because this looks like tedious work. And
With those two, it was. I was there.
thank
So-
you.
That concludes your report? No. Oh, this is an action item. Okay.
Would you like me to
I have a
proceed?
motion by Mr. Herrera? No, by Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Second by Mr. Herrera. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. We're done.
Executive.
Thank you, Mr. De Leon. Thank you, Mr. Herrera.
That concludes my presentation.
The board will now convene in executive session as provided by Government Code, Chapter 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074. We're now in executive session. Any motions from executive session?
No.
None at all. Okay. Then we're going to adjourn. Next meeting dates, regular board meeting, August the 17th, 2023, because we're not having a meeting in July. So y'all can go travel and have fun. Have a great summer. I hope that you take advantage of the no meeting in July and you spend some time with your family and get some rest. So we'll see you in August, God willing?
23, 23rd? Is that what you said?
17.
Okay.
2023.
2022. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Herrera, second by Ms. Science. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. We stand adjourned.